Dragonheir is a brand new Dungeons and Dragons inspired RPG that launched cross-platform onto Steam and I believe mobile as well. This is a gacha game that actually took me kind of by surprise because I wasn't expecting it to be the quality that it was. But even though I did find quite a bit of fun within the game, it does have its flaws, and I'm going to go ahead and attempt to cover as much of that as I possibly can in this video. First and foremost, this game utilizes an old school overworld. What that means is that you can freely run around what is arguably an enormous map that I've only just scratched the surface of. The map has various different features, lots of items that you're capable of looting, lots of treasures you're capable of finding, lots of, case in point, puzzles that need to be solved to actually obtain the treasures in question. Running around the world is a lot of fun. There's a lot to explore, and admittedly, I haven't seen a gacha game necessarily employ this kind of overworld to the extent, to the scale that this has been done in. And I guess since I just got into a battle, let's talk about the combat. The combat is, in a sense, partial auto combat, partial strategy. You deploy your units onto a grid-based field. You deploy one of a multitude of different class archetypes: tank, support, DPS. The DPS might be ranged. The DPS might be close range, melee. It might be a mage. It might be an archer. They have varying different elements that you can see purely by looking down at the bottom of the screen. Some of my characters are wounded, so I'm gonna go ahead and heal them before the battle starts. I am a little bit over leveled. I have been grinding a lot, and the story is currently at approximately level 16 right now. Now, as you can see, I did in fact heal my characters. You have various healing items that you can use before battle but not during, and various buff items that you can use before battle but not during. Buffs allow for you to increase various different statistics like attack for 600 seconds, accuracy, defense, HP. Various different statistical benefits can be provided through the use of buff items. Now, I do only have 2 melee characters, and enemies typically tend to prioritize the characters, the heroes that are closest to them. So if I put the mage here, this assassin will attack my mage, and I don't want that. So if I place my swordsman here, he will get directly attacked by the 2 targets closest to him. The same with my little hammer dwarf. So my mages I can position further back so they don't take aggro from the monsters. I think this guy might be I don't actually, it did give me a warning when the battle started, but I don't know what the warning was, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put her here in the off chance it uses a projectile ability to start the battle. And then you start the battle. Now your characters, they move of their own accord.
Be on the alert.
But you control their abilities. Different characters have different abilities. As an example, she has a heal. Very beneficial to have. He has an AoE. You can see the tiles that are affected by his AoE. Unfortunately, there's only one enemy here, but I think I should be prioritizing this big guy because he is on my mages. The abilities actually look pretty damn good, I'm gonna be honest with you. And the combat was a lot more difficult when the levels of the monsters were equivalent to my own levels, but I have been grinding exponentially because I did find immense difficulty with the game when I was playing it. But it's also partially due to the fact that I was under-leveled, under-geared, and not upgrading as efficiently as I could be. Before we go any further, I just want to take a moment here to thank all of our incredible patrons. You guys allow me to continue to play games like this for a living, and I can never truly repay that kindness. Also, if you're interested, I stream over on Twitch every single weekend. You should totally come on over and join me. Now, as a gacha game, there are a number of features that are predominantly found in gacha games. You have your characters. Your main character, which you can actually swap the element of, which is kind of cool. You have the characters that you pull for, that you wish for, that again fill a number of different roles. Mage, assassin, archer, melee DPS, range DPS, healer. You have various different sets of gear that you can equip. I actually haven't unlocked every piece of gear slot yet. You can upgrade your gear. Upgrading your gear provides statistical benefits, adds affixes to them. It's beneficial to upgrade your gear when you can, if you can afford it. It does get very expensive, and resources are not that easy to come by. All my characters are level 30 at present, and admittedly, I have not unlocked the means with which to actually ascend my characters yet. I've been playing for about 10 hours, and I'm still at a point where I can ascend my characters. So, but based on the story, where I am at the story specifically, the monsters are level 16. So I guess I'm only supposed to be roughly level 15 to 20 at this juncture. Now, beyond your characters, there is the ability to summon heroes. It looks as though Pity is at 35 summons. If you do not obtain a legendary hero by the 35th summon, then you're guaranteed one on the 35th. You get an epic hero on the 7th pull. You do not have, unfortunately, the same luck for the common, normal, standard banner. Legendary percent chance, 0. So, admittedly, legendary 3% from the advanced summoning. The only way to obtain a legendary character is to use the much more premium currency, not the currency you can actually earn at a decent rate in game, which is kind of unfair. If I'm being completely honest with you, that is ridiculously unfair. Because, I mean, let's be honest, you want the rare characters, you want the SSR, the 5 or 6 star heroes, and you're really not going to be capable of obtaining them, and that's kind of disappointing. There's an exchange system, which is your traditional store. There's a Psychic Core feature in-game, which allows for you to obtain attributes and affinity solvent by completing main quests or exploring the game, which allow for you to further enhance your character in various different ways, which provides more depth to your character, which provides you more originality and expression. There's the typical in-game store, which is gonna fill you with envy because of all the things you cannot obtain because you're poor and don't wanna and can't waste money on it. Like, look at this, you have 520% value. That's crazy. It really, really tempts you to, but like, I'm too poor. There is an account level feature. The account level actually gates content from you. You cannot progress through the story unless you are a certain account level. I was actually locked, I think, at account level 4 and couldn't progress any further into story. That was really irritating. I actually had to go out and grind commissions, which are things you can do each day that appear that provide you with XP and levels. I was not aware at the time that those were beneficial to the leveling process. So I was stuck kind of just running around fighting monsters, trying to figure out what I was doing wrong. There's a camp feature. Now this is a feature that I actually think is really cool. On the one hand, you're able to summon new heroes. Now you get a number of summons each day. And again, this is a Dungeons & Dragons inspired game, so it uses the similar features to D&D. When creating your character, you actually have to, interestingly enough, choose the type of character that you want to play as, and I think that's really cool. I'm never going to get anything beyond a really garbage hero from this, though. I feel like my luck is really bad. Now, in the camp, you can do a number of different things. I haven't unlocked every feature yet. Here, you can train. Here you can forge gear. I haven't unlocked my forge level 2 currently, but I do possess the ability to forge tier 1 gear right now. Over here you can cook food. You can either use your own ingredients without use of a recipe, or you can follow a recipe to cook food you've already unlocked, which provides statistical benefits, or they can heal you outside of battle. Here you have a caravan, which allows for you to purchase a number of goodies each day. Over here, you have the option of upgrading the other features that are available in your camp. This kind of reminds me a little bit of like an old school RPG camp where your characters would kind of all just sit around a campfire and you could talk to them, except for the fact that you unfortunately can't sit around a campfire and you can't talk to your characters, unfortunately. Now, there are a number of different features in this game beyond just exploring and continuing the story. As an example, you can farm XP in the Goblin Lair. Now, you can, interestingly enough, utilize wow. I'm sorry, I'm really messing up right now. You can utilize auto battle for farming specific dungeons, instances. I can go away right now. I can work on something. I can come back, and by the time I get back, the battle will be finished. This will utilize the stamina that I have and provide me with XP potions to level my characters further. Those resources to level your characters are actually very limited, so it's kind of important that you do in fact farm a sufficient number of them so you're capable of leveling your characters efficiently.
Be on the alert.
I actually ran into an issue where I was vastly under-leveled at the time, and then I farmed this. I farmed this for about 40 minutes,
Be on the alert.
and I went from, I think, like level 12 from all my characters to level 30, and now I absolutely destroy everything in the story. But I still failed to 3-star this, unfortunately, because these level 20 monsters are just so much stronger than I am. Well, actually, I say that, and then, oh, yeah, no, never mind. There is another spawn, another wave of enemies, unfortunately. I guess I've never paid attention to
Be on the alert.
the second stage because I've always been AFK while it is going on. Now, there are a number of different types of resources that you can farm. The resources are located at various different points around the world. There's a main story that you follow. There are side quests, which are indicated by the purple diamonds that are located on the map. And then there are, I don't even know what you classify the blue quests as, like a minor version of a side quest. You can fast travel around the map. Thankfully, this makes it easy to navigate the world. There are various NPCs around the world, various things you can do with the NPCs around the world. Like when I came here the first time, I milked a cow. Like I legitimately milked a fucking cow. Now, there are cities that you can semi-explore. You can talk to some of the NPCs you encounter around the city. There are a number of different ways of engaging the story. You can choose between a number of different selections that influence the actual story and how the story unfolds, the side quests and the main quests. So I feel like that kind of depth is not typically found in this genre, and I think this game really excels by providing you that depth. And while traveling around the world, you can actually, interestingly, oh no, I failed. You can attempt to steal from the NPCs, and if you're lucky, oh no, hold on. I've never failed to steal before. Okay, looks like I'm okay. I'm okay. I've successfully completed every attempted theft that I've done up until this point. Interesting that the one time I'd fail is now when I'm recording my actual dedicated video on it. So evidently there's a number of things you can do around the town. A number of areas you can investigate, NPCs you can talk to, quests that you can do. There's a PvP feature in-game. I did defeat 2 of my enemies when I was streaming this. The PvP is, if I recall, completely auto, completely AI controlled. I have no input whatsoever. The game automatically utilizes abilities for me.
Be on the alert.
Which honestly isn't bad, given I feel like the AI probably does a better job at controlling my characters than I do anyway. Oh, I'm getting messed up though. Why is that? Oh, I have the wrong party set up. Oh, I'm an idiot. I have my old party. Okay, I feel dumb. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna attempt this again. Because I actually have a level 1 hero there. I'm actually supposed to have my level 30 hero. So I actually leveled him at the end of stream, which meant that I actually unleveled one of my other characters, and
worry not, I am here.
And I boosted him instead, so I had the unleveled level 1 character in my group. But I feel like I'm still gonna get messed up. I feel like I'm still gonna lose this fight. Dude, here I am trying to show off features and show how good of a player I am, and I'm getting absolutely messed up. Okay, well, evidently this is not a good example of me excelling at PvP, but that's essentially PvP. Completely AI controlled, no input from you whatsoever. I actually don't like PvP that doesn't allow for direct control like that.
So much more.
I feel like it's not really PvP. I feel like it's literally AI versus AI. And realistically, that is the game. That is pretty much the entire game. There are other kinds of dungeons you can unlock. There are other kinds of means with which to acquire resources. There are lots more quests you can find, more diverse environments to explore. At the end of the day, this is a very fun game. It is. It's a pretty good looking game, but it's very pay to advance and very strongly borders on pay to win. Is all
that you believe truly right?
Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of the game is definitely gated from free players, and it is not at all free to play friendly, but the game looks really good. The game plays really good. The game has a pretty good story. It has a surprisingly good combat system with a lot of input required from you as a player. If you can afford it, has a decent gacha system, but for free players has a horseshit gacha system. There's a lot to see, there's a lot to do, a lot to unlock. At the end of the day, this is a pretty decent gacha game. Those are my brutal, honest thoughts. Now, if Dragonheir is not a game that you're at all interested in, absolutely no problem. I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now that might be of more interest to you.